Hello, Pioneers. Today is Wednesday, March 25th. My name is Maddie Patton.
And my name is Halima Suleiman. Welcome back to the press. Starting out today's show, here's Celise with a look into the recent confirmation of Mark Wayne Mullen as the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Celise?
Thanks, Halima. On Monday, the Senate confirmed Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen as the new Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security in a 54-45 vote. This leadership shift comes following the firing of former Secretary of DHS Kristi Noem amid a recent ongoing political battles over immigration enforcement and the recent partial government shutdown affecting the agency. Mullen, known for his outsider background and strong stance on border security, is stepping in at a critical time for the DHS. Lawmakers remain divided on policy reforms. The department continues to face operational challenges as negotiations continue throughout Washington.
Thanks, Celise. Two pilots of an Air Canada flight were confirmed dead after a fatal collision with a fire truck at the LaGuardia Airport in New York Sunday night. Just shortly after landing, the plane crashed into a fire truck, responding to a separate incident on another runway. A flight attendant who was strapped into a jump seat was ejected from the plane and thrown roughly 300 feet but survived. Reports suggest that a total of 39 passengers and crew from the flight were transported for injuries, along with two Port Authority rescue officers who were inside the fire truck. The situation raises concerns for lack of communication from air traffic controllers to ground personnel and continues to be investigated. While LaGuardia reopened Monday afternoon, runway 4 is expected to be closed until Friday, causing severe travel delays and flight cancellations.
Tensions remain high with the conflict involving Iran continues. President Donald Trump signaling openness to possible peace talks even as military actively persists in the region. Recent attacks in the Gulf have raised concerns about global energy markets, with oil prices reacting to fears of further escalation. U.S. and allied forces remain on alert as officials monitor the situation and weigh next steps. Despite the violence, diplomatic efforts are still being discussed, although no clear resolution appears to be finalized.
Travel disruptions are continuing at airports across the country as ICE agents are brought in to help manage staffing shortages during the DHS funding lapse. Officials say the move is meant to support TSA operations, but the agents are not trained to perform full security screenings. As a result, long lines and delays are still affecting travelers nationwide. With no immediate agreement in Washington, the disruptions are expected to continue.
Wildfires in Nebraska are now partially contained, but officials warn that the threat is far from over as dangerous weather conditions persist. Fire crews continue working to control the flames, with strong winds and dry conditions making containment efforts more difficult. Authorities say evacuations and road closures remain in place in some areas as precaution. Residents are being urged to stay on high alert as fire risks remain high.
The extent of damage from recent flooding in Hawaii is becoming clearer as officials assess the aftermath across affected communities. Authorities say homes, roads, and infrastructure have been heavily damaged, with some areas still dealing with lingering floodwater and debris. Emergency crews are working to restore access and provide aid to residents, while damage estimates continue to rise. Officials warn that recovery could take time as communities begin the rebuilding process.
That's all for today, Pioneers. Keep up with current news by tuning in next week for more national news. For the press, I'm Maddie Patton.
And I'm Halima Suleiman. Have a great rest of your week.